Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a personal reading for someone who reached out for my 2222 special. I'm surprised I've had so many people reach out today, but then again, I realized it was a full moon, so now I'm not surprised at all. I wonder if you guys have been feeling a bit sensitive today. There might have been a lot of stuff coming up. I know this morning I had to spend time in meditation and doing some yoga to get balanced because I was feeling a little whack, but I'm glad that I was able to get grounded and, be in the space to do these readings for you guys. So, and I also took a bath this afternoon after doing some of the readings, so that was nice. So if anybody else wants a reading, hit me up. I might have time to record a couple more before I go to bed, but they'll probably have to upload overnight. So just hit me up. My information's in the description below. And if you were guided to watch this reading and it's not your personal reading, then stay tuned because maybe there's going to be some stuff in here that resonates for you. My readings are all about just uplifting you and helping you find hope and reminding you to turn to yourself and to your own inner guidance. Sometimes when you're going through stress and times of chaos, it's hard to, find your way and to be able to, listen to your inner guidance and even to access that. So I try to help channel information through tapping into your energy and just channeling my own inner knowledge and things I've learned along my journey, because I'm going through a lot of healing in my life right now, and so I've been learning a lot about all this stuff. And I have to say that what I've been realizing lately in the twin flames as a collective is your joined energy really does speak to everyone as a collective right now. It's what I'm feeling. So this is the joined energy between you guys. But I've been reading this for everyone lately. It seems like there's just this huge transformation, and there's a lot of us out there who are very creative and we're very gifted and we have these talents. And right now, there seems to be a huge awakening. A lot of us are waking up to this and realizing our gifts and talents. Not just those of us who are gifted in healing, like people who do tarot or Reiki and energy stuff, but also people who, maybe write or they paint or they speak or they dance or they craft and create things or they have ideas and they innovate. And I just think that there's a huge awakening happening in our world. And a lot of people are awakening to this side of themselves and realizing that they can use these tools in the internet to be able to use these gifts and talents and to get them out there and to help others. So just go on Kickstarter. There's all these amazing inventions and companies that are being started. People are able to raise money easily for organizations, and there's also a lot of people who are starting creative companies and having some really awesome services. And of course, people who are able to, and people like me who are able to do these healing arts through the internet. So I think there's this huge awakening. People are starting to realize that this is something that can happen, and not just through the internet, but in real life too. People are starting to think about really working for themselves and developing their own business, because there's so much opportunity floating around out there in the energy. So it's kind of what's happening right now. A lot of people are opening up to this side of themselves and starting to realize they want more for themselves and they want more for their lives, and they don't just want to work for the man anymore, and they don't want to just, excuse my language, but be someone's bitch for the rest of their life. Even sometimes work can be fulfilling, but a lot of us are called to a higher purpose. I think everyone is. I believe everyone has a soul mission and life purpose, some type of higher purpose where you're able to use your natural gifts and talents to generate income for yourself and to help motivate, inspire, uplift, heal other people. One or all of those things, So this is what's happening between you and your twin right now. I feel like it's what's caused this huge shift, is this awakening you guys are having. It's a really beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with it. You guys are both becoming more grounded in your truth and your authenticity. And I feel like this is what's caused the separation ultimately is, you guys are separated because you're growing in your authenticity and you're growing in your truth. And this is something that needs to happen alone. This is a solo journey. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the archetype of the hero's journey. You should Google it. Google the hero's journey. But it's kind of a cool archetype. A lot of people will model movies after it, and screenplays and writing. It's basically the main journey that most plot lines go through. And basically there's this point in the journey where the hero has to go off alone and has to leave the sidekick behind in order to defeat the bad guy or whatever, or win the thing, or basically that's just part of the journey where you have to go off alone and you have to get strong and you have to pull up your inner strength and get some stuff done. And ultimately, you know, you end up with someone again or connecting with other people, but this is just part of the journey. And the point I'm trying to make is I hope that's coming out okay. It's very like conceptual and kind of meta, but basically it's important sometimes to have that solitude and to be alone, and without that you can't figure out who you are. It's hard to really hear and see and feel yourself when you're being mirrored off of someone else like that, to that extent. And relationships are beautiful because they can help us mirror aspects of each other back and forth, so that, you know, we can grow and learn and change and expand. But then there's times where being alone is important too, because when you're alone in that silence and in that stillness, that's when you can be spoken to, and that's when you get connected with your truth and your authenticity, you know? And this is what's happening here. There's this huge transformation in the middle of this separation, and you're ultimately awakening to this creative side of yourself, this sensitive side of yourself. These emotions are coming up for a reason, and I think that it's beautiful. Like, there's this big transformation between both of you guys. It says you are experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. So there is a lot of blessings that's going to come of this. You guys are going to figure out who you are. You're going to be able to leverage that to get what you want in life. And you're going to be able to command your personal energy a lot better. You're going to feel more confident. And when you allow that truth and that energy to flow through you, and your authenticity to flow through you, and you step into alignment, your life just starts to flow. And all these beautiful things start to happen, you know? You start to manifest your dreams, and you manifest more abundance. Life isn't going to be perfect. There's always going to be contrast, you know? This is a world of opposites, you know? Hot and cold, and dark and light, and good and bad, and, you know, there's going to be ups and downs, but ultimately you'll be able to have more peace because, you know, your everyday life is going to be more your creation and less something that you're just a victim to. So that's basically what's happening here. You guys are just basically taking the reins in your own lives and starting to realize, like, starting to create intentionally and deliberately, like, what you want. And so it's a very pivotal point in your lives. And so I feel like that's probably the main reason for separation here. This is your energy. I got the independent card for you, and this is like the twin flame and separation card. So I think they're just trying to say, like, yeah, we know this is like a huge thing for you right now. You're very worked up about it, and it's very intense for you. And I also think that, you know, this person has been taking up a lot of time on your mental, in like your mental space, and they've been taking up a lot of your energy, and it's almost been depleting you, because you really want to figure out what's going on here and what's going wrong here, and there's a lot of judgment, you know what I mean? Like, not just you, like, judging the other person, although, you know, I'm sure you're trying to figure out what's going on, and so you're probably overthinking a bit, but I feel like they're, you know, judgment on yourself. You're probably regretting some of the things you said or did, and you're feeling weird about, like, how you acted in this relationship in the past. And I feel like you feel like there's this phrase coming through, like, you feel like you're kind of like an emotional mess or something. I don't know if that's something you've said recently, or that's just how you feel, or that's something that's coming through, but it's just this perception you have of yourself that's, like, not true at all. Like, I feel like you've been through a lot, but you're a very beautiful person, and I think you have a lot going for you, and I really don't want to scare you here, okay? I don't want to freak you out, but I do have a feeling like there's some type of soulmate that's going to be coming into your life. I don't think it's immediately, because I barely just touched on it when I was shuffling the cards, but I did feel the energy of another male, and like, in your future. And so I do feel like there's going to be someone that comes on your path. And I think that might be overwhelming for you to think, because right now I know that you only have eyes for this person, and you're like, no, I feel like you're going to be like no one but him kind of thing. But there is going to be someone who comes in your life, and they're going to be too good to refuse. They're going to be the kind of person that's very in alignment with you and where you're at right now. And you know, I don't know how long I can say how long this person's going to stay, or if you and your twin are going to have union again in this life. So I don't want to scare you. You know, it's very possible you and your twin will have union again, because I am feeling like this cyclical nature between you guys. But I am feeling the energy of another soulmate. And if that happens, let me know. If you meet this person that I'm talking about right now, email me back and let me know, because I like to know when sometimes I feel weird throwing stuff like that out there, but I have to call it when I know my feelings, you know. I've been doing this long enough now where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna say this, you know. I say it though to give you hope, because I do feel like you have a lot to offer, and I do feel like you're almost ready to get back out there again. I don't know if it's been a while that you and this person have been in separation, or maybe it's gonna help you to like date around a little bit and take your mind off of it. But I feel like, you know, there's this part of you that longs for that connection, and you actually are very attractive right now. Like, your energy through this transformation is very attractive, and so you are going to be drawing some people your way. But there is this message coming through saying your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. So they're just trying to remind you that you don't need someone else, like, here, like, you can do this on your own, and like you're trying to get your strength on your own, like through, you know, to help with your creativity and to help with your life path. And, you know, like the hero's journey, it's just the time where you're alone, but they're trying to give you hope that there's some more people that are going to come along in this journey, and start thinking about the bigger purpose people are in your life. Maybe not worry so much about like the 3D and like, you know, the whys and the wherefores of how this happened. You know, it's time to move into a space of acceptance and really start having more faith in your path. And so this says create an altar, visit a power place to connect with the divine. So, you know, go for a nature walk and just take some deep breaths and try to open up and see if you get any insight or any visions or any feelings or intuitions, you know. Try some meditations. There's a lot of like breakup and healing from, you know, breakup meditations and stuff like that, and twin flame meditation, soulmate meditation. So explore that a little bit and see if there's any meditations that will help you find more peace. Because remember, whatever feeling state you're in, that's what you're going to start attracting into your life. So I'm not saying that if you have a day where you break down, or like you're feeling really sad or something, or you get angry over something, that all of a sudden you're going to manifest all this awful stuff. It doesn't work like that. It's like, but if you spend the majority of your time down and down and down, and you get sucked down that rabbit hole, you're going to that's going to start reflecting, you know, more and more around you. You know, the universe is going to mirror back to you like what you are, and like the vibration that you're putting out. So you want to start thinking more about like the vibe that you want to put out, you know, but I do think naturally though, you kind of are attractive. Like there's a light to you still. You know, I still feel like no matter what's happened here, there's still this light to you, and like you are growing in your independence, and like you're gaining strength here, and like this side of you is blossoming, this creative side. It's so awesome. But they're saying, you know, there's something happening here. This shift is leading you somewhere, and you are going to have some angels come across your path. You know, this next person that's coming into your life, this soulmate, is an angel, and I do feel like it's going to be romantic between you guys. I can't say if you guys are actually going to be like a relationship, or if this is just a fling, or like what's happening with this person. But I do feel the energy of them, and it's like they're like an earth angel. They're very generous and kind and sweet, and like maybe even an earth sign. I'm feeling like the energy of an earth sign. So let me know if this earth sign soulmate comes in your life. It could be a close friend. It could be someone who's here to help lift you up and help you find that balance. They're very unconditional, so that's why I feel like this soulmate vibe. But I do feel a romance, but it could just be a strong soulmate, someone predominant in your soul family. So look out for that person, but don't lose hope for what's happening between you and your twin. This is this person's energy. So they've been called to a new path, and it's like they've decided to take a leap into the unknown, and I feel like they might have moved somewhere far away. They left their family and their friends behind to go on this new path. Or it could just be that they're spending the majority of their time like away from their family and stuff, and they're like going to like some type of training or job. But I've actually been picking up on this for a lot of the Divine Masculine lately. This whole like starting this new path. And it's this time of year too, you know, it's September. A lot of people are starting new jobs, and I just think it's really interesting though that I'm pulling this card for his energy. It's like he's really had this pivotal moment. Because that's what this is about, is just deciding, you know what, I'm just going to start over. I'm just going to leave everything behind, and I'm just going to do this. And I think that's what he did. He just took a huge leap of faith and a huge risk. And I'm going to read this. It says The Wanderer, and this is card 0. So this is like the very beginning of the journey. It says, you have come to a junction or turning point in your life. It may be an unconscious state in which you feel the tide has turned or sense something is going to happen. In a way, it already has. Your spirit must move on, and the desire to leap into the unknown beckons. This may mean leaving behind or giving up some baggage or burden that you've carried with you from the past. Now is the time to be clear, not let fear of failing or sad disillusion with the universe hold you back. Let your imagination carry you into a set of new possibilities. It is time to travel hopefully and open your arms to new and challenging aspects of the universe. So yeah, that's totally what they're going on. They're just having blind faith and taking that leap in the dark, following their heart forward. And the word sad just stuck out to me. Like, they're very sad right now in their current energy. And I really think it probably has to do with you. Because I see this kind of pointing to this girl, and it's like he's left you behind and he's sad, and there's something that's pulling him forward though. That's what this is, this rainbow. It's like the rainbow path. It's his truth, it's his desire, it's his goals, and this, you know, transformation, this creativity. The same thing that's happening with you is happening with him. So this is just the way it's got to go. He's got this other place right now he needs to be for his soul's growth and development. And he's a bit antsy. In his current energy, I'm starting to feel like this weird anxiety, and I thought it was me for a second, but then like I took a breath and got grounded, and I'm like, okay, no, that's not me. So I'm tapping into his energy right now, and I feel like he really wants his success to happen overnight. There's a lot of work that has to be done though, and so he's nervous right now, but it's nothing that is that big of a deal. I'm just feeling that. But I'm gonna move on, because I don't think anything else I'm gonna grab is gonna be helpful. It's just you know, he's excited for this journey, and I'm feeling into some of his reasons and decisions. Like, I kind of can feel like the energy of like I said, like there's some type of something calling him forward and away, and I think that's what this card is symbolizing, that there's this energy, there's this purpose out there for him, and he has to go do it on his own, just like you have to be on your own right now. And part of it has to do with building strength. Strength alone is so important, you know? And ultimately, everyone's on a journey to self-love. That's what I believe. I feel like this journey here is all about getting you to like come to that place of balance and peace, like of just loving yourself and like feeling connected to like yourself and like everyone around you, and like the plants and the animals, and just feeling oneness and peace. And it's kind of hard to explain, like, once again, another kind of meta concept, but everyone here is on this journey to self-love, and I think that's ultimately what's happening here. Is this person's sometimes relationships, you can really be, they can be a crutch, you know. You can just get drunk off of someone else's love instead of filling your own cup, you know. And sometimes life does have you go off alone into these times of solitude and the unknown, and you have to pull up your inner strength. It helps you get stronger, and it helps you remember how important that self-love is, because if you're not filling your own cup and you're not loving yourself, then you can't help anyone else. You end up just taking and being imbalanced and going around and creating a lot of chaos. You know, you want to be, that's what being grounded is. It's just like being centered in your self-love and like having your self-esteem and your confidence pulled up, and you know, being able, like, trusting and having faith and like knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. You know, that's what this channel is all about. Rainbow Harmony. It's me ranting every day over these cards, reminding myself like not to overthink and not to stress and not to worry and have fear, and to have peace, and to remember that the answer is always love, and that to always, you know, be in my integrity and truth. And I feel like that's the journey all of us are on, but especially this is sticking out for your twin. It's like for him, the step forward was about having integrity. It took him a lot to make this decision to leave and to walk away and to go to this new place, and it was not easy for him. I feel like he's very sad, but he has to follow his truth, and it's hard for him to even describe. It's hard I feel like he had a hard time putting it into words, the why of, you know, but I hope that this is shedding light on it for you. Let's see. Wow, I'm just like his energy, man. Woo. I'm gonna grab a crystal after that. Good. Wash my hands after this one. So, I don't want you to be like worried about him or anything. It's an intense time, you know. I think it is for everyone. This is a change of the seasons right now. The wheel of the year is turning. So I asked what his reason is for leaving, but I honestly just picked it all up when I tap into his energy. So this is just me repeating myself, but he needs to focus on this new path with his career and his, you know, this talks about stirring the pot, like basically making money and creativity and like abundance and wealth and fertility. And so it's just making me think he's focused on that. He's focused on that right now, and that's why he had to step away. Blocks to union on your side. So there's been this break, and I feel like it was a breakdown. Like, you've had a breakdown, and I don't know, this looks different for everybody. For some people, a breakdown is just like they just cry all the time, and they just don't want to get out of bed, and it's like a deep depression. And for other people, they just go crazy and they just snap and just kind of go off on people, and like they just can't handle things anymore. Maybe it's like something crazy that happens where you quit your job, or like you lose your job, or I feel like there's something happening around your job, like what's happened with you and this person has somehow affected your job, and it's like affecting your whole life. And so it's like been this break for you, basically. Through it though, there's some type of divine intervention coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is a block to union. So like this state you've been in, that's why I feel like I'm seeing this whole time to meditate thing. And honestly, don't feel weird about this, because I've been here in my twin flame journey, and a lot of twins I've read for, some of the people when they come to me, I'm reading their energy that's saying like, it's been hard, you know, and it's time to chill and do some meditation. You know, I don't pull that for everyone every time, but when I see it, I can usually tell that you're at this part in the journey where it's overwhelming you, and the answer is usually to just find a way to surrender, because that's what this is about, saying there's going to be some type of divine intervention that comes through for you. And so you're being called to surrender. Just have faith and just know that, like, because this picture, it looks awful, like this branch is snapped and this girl's fallen, and it's just like this thing that's out of her control, but she's being saved. That's what these flames are. Like, let me read this one to you in the book, because this is I feel like this card is just like really standing out for you out of all the cards. So check this out. It says, what appears to be a random disillusion or destruction of your beliefs and relationships is timely and natural. The sea swallows what was built on shifting sand, and you are liberated from being a powerless victim. Now you have a base on which your inner strength can adapt and evolve. So it's trying to tell you to kind of look on the bright side. Like, there's been a block because you've been viewing this, you know, it's obviously been awful, you know, but they're saying now you can, you know, you have this base to develop your inner strength, and so you can evolve, you can adapt. And they're saying this may happen suddenly with shocking speed. So that's probably what the break I'm seeing is from, like how like upset you've been, the breakdown, like because everything's just been happening so fast. It's like hard for you to keep up with. Especially this is a really positive thing happening in your life. You know, this transformation with this creative side of your, you know, and your job, and you're going to be moving more towards your soul mission and life purpose and getting more into alignment. You're starting to really awaken to your inner truth right now. But this is happening so fast, and that's usually what happens with awakening. It just happens really fast, and my awakening oh my god, I'm at this point now in my journey where it's kind of chilled out, and like obviously I'm at this space where I'm able to share what I've learned through my awakening to other people and be grounded enough to do that. But I do have to say that, you know, the first 2 years were so intense, and I just feel like you're experiencing some of that turbulence. They're saying the trauma may leave you stunned and confused, but the fiery blast that sent you falling to earth has also jolted you from a state of trance that allowed you to avoid dealing with profound and fundamental issues. Don't be angry or bitter at this passing, for whatever has gone never really belonged to you. Be patient, wait, and learn from the process of loss. Now, that kind of sucks. Like, every time I drew this card and saw that, I was like, F you, universe, what the heck? Just kidding. Like, no one wants to go to the deck and, like, draw that card, you know? They're saying, like, basically, you know, try not to be angry or bitter about this. And the hardest part is realizing, you know, whatever is gone never really belonged to you. Like, ultimately, everything in this life is always changing and evolving, and if you try to hang on to things, it's like trying to hang on to sand. It just slips through your fingers. You know, the best thing you can do in life is just learn how to adapt and go with the flow, because shit's gonna happen. You know? But you know what? This card also is, I want to reinforce here, I'm not saying just get over it, okay? Because this has been really intense for you, and I feel that here. I'm trying to say, you know, allow those emotions to pass through you, allow this grieving process to happen, and, you know, honor and accept these feelings and this side of yourself and this relationship and everything it meant to you. But, you know, there's a greater purpose for this. You know, there's this awakening here. I feel like that this breakup and everything that's happened as a result has really kind of awakened you, and it's leading you into this transformation, and so just trust it. And they're saying, too, that there's a message for you to go outside. Like, I feel like half of the intensity of this situation will be lessened if you just go outside and, like, hike around in nature a little bit. You'll be happy and at peace, and you'll feel like you've kind of got out and done some exploring, and your inner child will be really happy for that. And it's so soothing, and that's the best thing you can do when you've had a breakup, is just go to the beach, or go to the mountains, or go camping, or just go to the park, take your pets out, like, just spend time really nurturing yourself. Be easy on yourself, because it's a tough time, you know? This is your heart and your soul. That's why breakups are just, they cut so deep, because it's, you shared yourself with this person, and that's so intense, you know, that when you break up and they have that separation, you know? But there's something really awesome coming through for you. This is in the, it says the blocks to union, but I feel like there's something you've been asking for and you've been wishing for lately, and it wants to come through. And so they're saying that if you can kind of just, you know, come to acceptance with what's happened and get outside a little bit and kind of get grounded, that'll help put you in alignment to manifest this thing. It's so close. And I'm going to read this to you, and I want you to think about any visions or thoughts or feelings you have when I read this to you. It says, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Have you asked for anything recently? The answer is yes. Have patience and it will be yours. This is the time where doubt, fear, and worry can set in. These are ego-based fears that can slow down what you've asked for. Distract yourself with nature, projects, uplifting company. Make peace with your past, because it is here. So, you're being called to try to let this go for now. That's what, I'm surprised I didn't draw the surrender card for you, because I'm just feeling it. I'm seeing it in my third eye right now. You're being called to just surrender this, so that there's something greater that can come through for you, and this transformation can happen. This is a really good time for you and your twin. There's a lot of positive energy surrounding both of you despite this breakup. So just have faith in that. Now the next thing. So this is blocks to union on his end. So obviously it's where he lives, this new home that he's manifested, and this passion that he's following. And I feel like I'm almost repeating myself from earlier. I sat there on this card forever, like, really tapping into his energy, and like everything came through. But this is confirmation of what I said earlier, and it's so cool when I see this in a reading. It helps me, have more confidence and faith in what I'm channeling. This is the empowerment card, and this is the divine passion card, and I just feel like he's gotten honest with himself, and he's realized that there's something calling him forward, this new path, and he has to really trust that. And so the blocks right now are this new path he's on to gain his empowerment on his own, and to go out there and conquer the world, basically, and to manifest his abundance and this home, this dream life he has. It's like I feel like it's a specific place that he's dreamed of going, that he's trying to get to, or that he's left you for. He's gone. So yeah, it's something to do with his home, perhaps a city or something. So, like a big city. I'm not sure though. Like New York came through. So I might have just seen that image because it was like. It's a city, he's like a city job, he's like a city person or something, or, yeah, I don't know why that's coming through. Now, this next question is what he knows that you don't. So, you don't realize that he's actually very sensitive about this relationship, and he's also struggling really hard right now. So yes, he took this leap of faith, and like he went after, they got this new home, and he's following his heart, and like he might be posting stuff and making it seem like on the internet and everything like everything's fine, but this person's actually going through a really tough struggle right now, and they're having a winter. They're out in the cold, and it's like a lot of stuff they've tried and they've thrown out has failed, and so it might not be as perfect as they're projecting forward. What's really happening with them in their personal life, there's been a lot of struggle, and I don't know, this could probably just be because of Mercury retrograde. And it seemed to throw everyone a curve, and they could just be recovering from that, or this could be a time in their life where they're going through like a dark night of the soul or something. They're going through a depression, or there's been some catastrophe. But it does say this person's holding the light, so I don't want you to worry. This person, they are strong. They are really going to get what they're going after, which is their inner strength, and that's what they're being tested on right now, and they're learning how to pull that up and hold the light. So you just weren't aware that that's what's really happening with them. And the fact that they truly are sensitive and regretful of what's happened in this relationship. And, like I said, sad, that word came out, that they're feeling sad about this. And sensitive. Very, very raw after leaving this situation. So they might be spending time on their own, just trying to cocoon and heal, and but I do see positiveness. Like, there's this lotus, it's like out of the mud grows the beautiful lotus, so that's kind of coming to mind, that it's a transformation. Just, that's what the joined energy was between you guys. This is something you guys actually share in common. You guys are on like the same journey, so I'm sure you can understand what he's going through right now too. Now, what you know that he doesn't know. So, it's like I don't think this person knows just how deeply you love them. I think they know that, like, you love them and want to be with them, but I don't think they realize, like, the extent to which that goes. And I think they might be feeling like they really disappointed you and they really let you down, and, like, perhaps that's ruined their chances, but I think they still know that you want to be with them, but they still also feel like, and for some reason they've let you down. But there's this, like I said, undying love. This is a card that I pull for people who are usually in a love triangle of some sort. So I don't know if there's someone else on your end, or perhaps now, like, you're starting to think about this whole soulmate thing, or perhaps you're trying to get back out there or whatever. Like, perhaps that's something he doesn't know, that you're thinking of trying to move forward or try something else, or to be open to another situation. So he might not be aware of that, and he also might not be aware that you really desperately want this home situation with him. Like, you want this safety and this security, and to you, this person is home. And so I don't think they're aware. I don't think they're aware that, like, you view them as, like, your home, and, like, this person is your home. And, because home is where the heart is, you know? And your heart is with this person. And so it's like, they're not aware of that. Now, I don't think you need to make them aware. I'm feeling this energy, like, you shouldn't be reaching out to this person right now. If you really want to know if you should, like, let me know if you want another reading at some point, and we can look into, like, we can do a reading where we're like, what does the path look like if you reach out? And what does the path look like if you don't? And we can get some advice on that. But, I'm not feeling energy like you should be reaching out to this person at this time. If there's communication, then just trust your heart and flow with it. But as far as you, like, reaching out, I don't know if that's in alignment. So, I know I have a feeling like you might want to tell this person, like, oh my gosh, like, I want them to know that, like, I do, love them, and I wish they knew this, but I just feel like it has to do with their own insecurities. Like, they're having a hard time, like, really accepting, like, that love, that unconditional love, and that's because he's still learning how to have, there's just blocks there for his own self-love, and that's normal. That's so normal. I mean, I had a lot of blocks, and I probably still do. I'm still working. Everyone's a work in progress, This isn't about, like, judging you or your twin or anything. And yeah, try to let go of that, any judgment you might have towards your twin. This isn't a bad thing. He's just not aware of how much you do love him. But I have a feeling like the feelings here are mutual. I have a feeling like he feels the same way about you. I just do. I don't usually say that unless I really see it, because I don't want to give people false hope, because some people get readings for twins and it's like, I just see the whole, like, he's not that into you card, and maybe this isn't your twin. I don't usually say that, because this is, it doesn't matter if this person truly is your twin or not. I'm just reading it as it is, so that you can get whatever is best for your highest growth and healing and your greatest good. But I am feeling like this person does have genuine feelings for you. But this is such a personal thing to them. Like, for some reason, they just have to go off alone. Like, I mean, look at all these signs. It's like, they gotta go off alone. Like, the empowerment, he's following his passion. He had to go find a new home. And that's where his heart is right now. And, they might just not be aware. They just might not be aware of how much you are willing to risk to be with him, So that might be something you can discuss in the future if it comes down to it. You're just going to have to trust your heart with that. Now, I wanted to ask, what positive energy is coming into your life? Because, this is really heavy sometimes, the information that comes through in these readings, and I can't really control that. So I like to make sure that you leave feeling really uplifted and, like, that there's good stuff going to happen. And I think you already know that. I mean, this is really beautiful what's happening, this transformation with your creativity. But I'm seeing, there is actually, you're going to start feeling a lot safer. I see this deer totem, and it's making me feel like, this situation has really, it hasn't caused you to, like, lose faith in people and then just, like, your life and your path, but it's caused you to question. It's definitely caused you to question, like, okay, like, what's going on here? Like, who am I supposed to be with, and what's gonna happen? And, like, there's a lot of when questions, too. It's like, you want to know when this is gonna happen. You want to know, like, you just want it over already, and so you can move on. But I feel like you're growing in this process. And they say, like, this isn't a dress rehearsal. Like, life is what happens, all the moments in between. Like, you have to remember, like, this is your life. Like, the moments in between this union, that's your life too. And I feel like the positive energy that's coming is you actually are going to start getting very grounded in yourself and in this independence. This says your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. And I feel like you're going to start feeling that more. And once you get more grounded in that, feeling more confident and accepting this part of your journey, and you come to peace, Because, you know, sometimes you're at a place in your life and you're just like, I really don't want to be here. You know, for me, I used to live somewhere I really didn't want to live. And my situation, I hated it. And it wasn't until I actually came to peace with that situation and, like, learned how to make it work for me. And did I transcend it and move past it. And so that's what this is. I know that's what this is for you. This is a situation where you have to learn how to make peace with where you're at, and in that you'll be able to transcend it. And that's what's happening naturally. That's exactly what's happening. You know, there's this manifestation, this opportunity coming towards you, and you're going to have this new mindset, and this is what's going to make it possible. And this is a very natural, organic thing that's happening here in your life. And I bet you can already feel it coming. You know, like, that's what this is, this ecstasy card. I'm seeing, like, you know, this intensity where you need to go meditate. We talked about that. But then there's, like, this ecstasy card and, like, this attraction you have. And so it's just really interesting. You know, that's what you can look forward to is you're going to be like a magnet here in the near future for what your manifestations and potentially a soulmate. We'll see. I don't know if that freaks you out, but there could be someone like that, or just a very close friend. You know, best friends, close friends sometimes read like that. And so I feel like you're going to be excited for that. More people from your soul family are going to be making their way into your reality as you go through this awakening and transformation. So how are we going to wrap this up? Advice from Spirit. That's what this is right here. How sweet. The universe is saying to trust that true love is going to be delivered to you, you know, because ask and you shall receive. You know, you really want this. You feel like if you had this, you would basically it'd help you be in alignment better. It'd help you feel more secure and safe, and you want to be looked after and cared and nurtured, and you know, you want that true love, and you want that romance. You want to be swept off your feet, and I think this person is just very close to your heart because they did that for you, and you feel really betrayed because they're gone, and it's making you lose faith in yourself. But I think the universe is trying to tell you, like, you need to have faith in yourself alone right now, and that's what this chapter of your life is about. And you know, you are going to get the love that you want. It says, the romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. So great love is headed to you. If it's this new soulmate or if it's your twin, I can't say because this is interesting. But I feel like that's not the point. The message is that this is coming to you. And so don't be afraid you're going to be alone, and try to lessen some of that fear. Because I feel like you're afraid you're going to be alone. Like, you're afraid, how am I ever going to attract someone again or attract this person back? And it's not about that. I think that you're a very beautiful person. Like, you have some insecurities about your looks or your beauty or like the way you come across, but what's happened with this person is not personal to you. As you see, none of the cards talked about like any conflict or any fight. I mean, even though there was a little bit of that energy surrounding you, it's natural with a breakup, but it's more about the personal journey they're being called forth on and this growth that's happening in you right now. So the advice is, you know, try not to let the heavy emotions of this to drag you down any longer. You've spent time expressing your emotions and really feeling them. And at this point, it's important that you're able to lift yourself out of that darkness so that you can move forward with this creative side of yourself and these gifts that are coming up and wanting to be expressed. And they're saying, you know, just take every day really, you know, slowly. Take the time to ease into your day because you're going through this grieving process, you know, with this person right now. And it's going to weigh heavily on you. Sorry, the sun set, and so now there's like this glare. So they're saying to work your way through each day and just meditate and ponder on your needs before reacting to anything. Just, you know, really take good care of yourself right now is this is the heads up card, and it's just a card that's reminding you, hey, you know what, go easy on yourself right now and really be aware because this is an intense time for you. So what I'm seeing overall is that this breakup has really just torn you apart, and that's what this is. It's torn you apart. But I think the silver lining here is that your life is transforming. So look around and really start thinking about this shift that you're surrounded by right now, because something really beautiful wants to come through. And you're going to have to trust your heart on what it is, because it's saying, what is the first thing that comes to mind? I feel like there's something you've been asking for, some big dream you've had, and that's what wants to start making its way into your life, and your life is trying to pull you to take more steps in that direction, and sometimes the stuff with the twin can be a block to that. And so sometimes you know, once again, sometimes in the journey, in the hero's journey, you've got to go off on your own to defeat the dragon, you know? And that's what this is, you know? You're going off on your own right now to slay that dragon, and I feel like the dragon that you're slaying here, metaphorically, is, it's your inner strength. You're really learning how to pull up your inner strength and stand alone. This card just keeps standing out to me, so I'm going to leave you with this, you know? Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. I think that the most important thing to remember in this journey is that separation is part of it. But the beautiful part about separation is if you can learn how to have fun with it, and you can learn to really just enjoy your own company and to really just fall in love with yourself, it makes the whole thing so much more fun. Immerse yourself in your passions and in your creativity. You know, go to a craft store and just buy a bunch of supplies and go wild. This is a time for you to express yourself. All these emotions, all these things that are coming up, just let it flow through you. Express it in your own way. You know, maybe you're not a craft person. Maybe you like to write or sing or dance or act. But there's something that wants to come out of you, or maybe even some type of healing art. And wow, I'm having a hard time ending this reading. This happened earlier today. It's probably just because of the full moon. But I think you're going to be fine. I think this situation feels a lot more intense than it might actually be, just because you're probably picking up on his sadness and all the struggle that he's going through. So just remember that you're going to be very connected with this person and their energy. There's like some energetic cords between you and this person. Be aware of that, and send him love and light for what he's going through right now, and just have tunnel vision right now on yourself, because that's what he's doing. He's really trying to focus on this pot he's stirring. So focus on yours, and see if by giving this situation energetic space, it will start to resolve itself. That's what surrendering is all about. It's giving the situation energetic space, because if you're spending all your time focusing and worrying about this situation, you're so powerful that you can hold the situation in that energetic space. I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of a meta concept, but you're going to have to get to the space where you can just let go. And when it comes to your mind, you know, tell yourself affirmations like, you know what? I've chosen to let this go, and I trust in the unfolding of this situation. I trust that what's going to happen is going to be for my highest good, and I commit to following my inner guidance and moving forward with what's best for me in my life. Something like that. Like, make up your own personal affirmation. And when you start to worry and fester over this, tell yourself that, and turn your focus back to all the awesome things you have going for you in your life right now. You know, not to say you can't think about this person, but once again, you know, I feel like what was sticking out when I was having a hard time ending this is because you know, you've been fretting about this a lot, and you're being called to not let it go, but surrender, which is completely different. You know, make that energetic space, and you might just be surprised how the situation transforms. Hang on to your seat, because the next couple of months, I'm feeling a lot of energy coming in, positive energy, you know, this transformation. So things are going to be changing around you, and things are going to start feeling really different soon. So when you start feeling that, don't be afraid. Get excited, because it's going to be positive changes in your life. And there's a lot of positive cards in this reading. So I'm wishing you well. I'm hoping that this reading helped uplift you and help shed light on your situation. And I'm really thankful that you purchased this reading, because now I have more money to donate to my cause of supporting ethical fashion. So stay tuned, and I'm going to post some more videos of behind the scenes at some of my photo shoots. So thank you again for your support, and I hope that this reading resonates with you. Peace out.